Welcome back dear student and Jai Swaminarayan. In the previous video, we will discuss a first 10 question of the exercise. Now dear student, in this video, we will discuss a remaining question answer. Right? So let us start with the question number 11 of the exercise. Question number 11. Two objects, each of a mass 1.5 kg, are moving in a straight line but in the opposite direction. Dear student, here the two objects, each of a mass 1 kg. Mass of both the object are given to you 1.5 kg, are moving in a same straight line but in the opposite direction. The velocity of the each object is 2.5 meter per second before the collision, right? During which they stick together, right? The velocity of each object before collision is 2.5 meter per second, right? And during the motion of the object they stick together. Now what will be the velocity of the combined object after the collision, right? We need to find the velocity of the combined object after collision. So dear student, here we apply a law of conservation of the momentum. Momentum of an object before the collision and the momentum of the objects after the collision are same. So here we apply the law of conservation of momentum. So first of all, the mass of both the object is given to you 1.5 kg. So mass of first object m1 is equal to 1.5 kg. Mass of other object m2 is equal to 1.5 kg, and the velocity of both the object is 2.5 meter per second, but both are moving in the opposite direction. So one velocity we take a positive and another velocity we take a negative. So velocity of the first object before collision v1 is equal to 2.5 meter per second, we take a positive. So the velocity of the second object which is moving in the opposite direction v2 is equal to minus 2.5 meter per second. So velocity of both the object are same, but it will be in the opposite direction. So one we take a positive and another we take a negative. Now during the collision both the objects stick together, right? So after collision two objects stick together. So the total mass of the combined object is m1 plus m2 and the velocity of the combined object is a v. We need to find this velocity v. Here the mass m1 plus m2, that is a 1.5 plus 1.5, we get a 3 kg, right? So according to the law of conservation of linear momentum, or we can say that the law of conservation of the momentum, total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. So total momentum before collision m1 v1, momentum of the first object, plus m2 v2, momentum of the second object, and after collision both the object stick together. That means the total mass m1 plus m2 into the velocity v. So the momentum after collision is m1 plus m2 into v. Now put the values. Here m1 is a 1.5, v1 is a 2.5, plus m2 is a 1.5 and v2 is a minus 2.5, is equal to m1 plus m2, 1.5 plus 1.5 into v. So if you calculate this, here we get a 3.75 minus 3.75 is equal to 3v. So we get the velocity of the combined object v is equal to 0 meter per second. So after they will stick, the combined object will be a stationary and the velocity of the combined object is a 0 meter per second. Now question number 12. According to the third law of motion, when we push on an object, the object pushes back on us with an equal and opposite force. Dear student, when we apply a force on the object also applies the force on us, according to the Newton's third law of motion, when we push on an object, the object pushes back on us with an equal and opposite force. Now, if the object is a massive truck parked along the side road, it will probably not move. A student justifies this by answering that the two opposites and equal forces cancel each other. Comment on this logic and explain why the truck does not move. So here, dear student, we know that according to the Newton's third law of motion, when we push an object, the object applies the force on us opposite direction. Now if we consider a truck having a larger mass, and when we applying a force on the truck will not move. Why the truck will not move? Because the truck has a larger mass, it has a larger inertia. So when we apply a external force on the truck, because of the larger mass, the force cannot affect the truck. Because of the largest mass, it's a static friction between the truck and the road is a very high, and due to this the truck does not move, right? So answer of this question is the truck has a large mass, therefore the static friction between the truck and the road is a very high. To move the car, one has to apply a force more than the static friction, right? To move a truck, we need to apply a force which is greater than the static friction. Because of the larger mass, here the static friction between truck and the road is a very high. So therefore when someone pushes the truck and the truck does not move, then it can be said that the applied force in the one direction is cancelled out by the friction force of the equal amount acting in the opposite direction, right? So when we apply a force on the truck, similar equal amount of the friction force is exerted in the opposite direction. And dear student, static friction force is a force which opposes the motion of the object. So we can say that when we applied a force in the one direction, the friction force is exerted on the opposite direction, which is the equal amount of the applied force. So dear student, both the forces are equal and opposite, cancel the effect of each other. So dear student, the truck does not move, right? So now question number 13. Question number 13. A hockey ball of a mass 200 gram traveling at a 10 meter per second is stuck by a hockey stick so as to return it along its original path with a velocity of the 5 meter per second. Calculate the change of the momentum occurs in the motion of the hockey ball by the force applied by the hockey stick. So here dear student, a hockey ball of a mass 200 gram is given to you, moving with a velocity of the 10 meter per second, right, in the straight line, right? So a hockey stick apply a force on the hockey ball, so it returns with the velocity of the 5 meter per second in its original path. So we need to calculate the change in the momentum of the hockey ball. So here dear student, mass of the hockey ball is given to you 200 gram. We need to convert this mass into the kg. So 200 divided by 1000, we get the 0.2 kg. So mass of the hockey ball is a 0.2 kg. Now hockey ball travel with the velocity. Initial velocity v1 is equal to 10 meter per second, right? So hockey ball is moving with the velocity 10 meter per second. So initial velocity is a 10 meter per second. So what is the initial momentum? How we calculate the initial momentum? The initial momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Now when we applying a force by a hockey sticks, it moves with the velocity of the 5 meter per second in the opposite direction. So the final velocity v2 is equal to 5 meter per second, but we take a minus. Why? Because of the opposite direction. The hockey ball moves in a opposite direction after applying a brake, after applying a force, right? So final momentum is a m into v2, right? So initial momentum is m into v1, final momentum is a m into v2. So change in the momentum, that means the initial momentum minus final momentum. So here the mass 0.2 into velocity 10 minus mass 0.2 into velocity minus 5. So if you calculate, we get the change in the momentum is a 3 kilogram meter per second. Here the 3 kilogram meter per second is the change in the momentum. Change in the momentum, that means the initial momentum minus final momentum. We can also calculate here the initial momentum by placing a value m into v1, final momentum by placing a value m into v2, and then subtract these two, we get the change in the momentum 3 kilogram meter per second. So dear student, understand the question number 13, answer of the question number 13. Now question number 14. A bullet of a mass 10 gram traveling horizontally with the velocity of the 150 meter per second strike a stationary wooden block and comes to rest in a 0.03 second. A bullet of a mass 10 gram. The mass of the bullet is given to you 10 gram. We need to convert this into the kilogram, right? Moving with the velocity of a 150 meter per second strikes a stationary wooden block and come to the rest in a 0.03 second. Calculate the distance of the penetration of the bullet into the block. So in the block, how much distance traveled by the bullet in a wooden block. Also calculate the magnitude of the force exerted by the wooden block on the bullet. So dear student, here it is given that the bullet is traveling with the velocity of the 150 meter per second. So the initial velocity of the bullet u is equal to 150 meter per second. After strike in a stationary wooden block, the bullet comes to the rest. That means the final velocity becomes 0. So final velocity we take a 0. Time taken to come to the rest, t is equal to 0.03 second. So according to the first equation of the motion, v is equal to u plus at. Here the final velocity v is a 0. Initial velocity u is a 150 meter per second. T is a 0.03 second. So if we put the value, we get the acceleration of the bullet. So 0 is equal to 150 plus a into 0.03. So from that, if you calculate the acceleration, a is equal to minus 150 divided by 0.03 and is equal to, we get a minus 5000 meter per second square. So in a wooden block, the acceleration of the bullet is a minus 5000 meter per second square. Now what we want to calculate? We want to calculate the how much distance traveled by the bullet in a wooden block. So according to the third equation of the motion, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Here v is a 0, final velocity is a 0, initial velocity is a 150 meter per second, acceleration we were calculated minus 5000 meter per second square. So from this equation we can easily calculate the distance traveled by the bullet in a wooden block. S is equal to minus u square by 2a. So 150 square by 2 into a is a 5000. We get a 2.25 meter. So the distance of penetration of the bullet into a block is a 2.25 meter. So now what we want to calculate? the force exerted on the bullet by a wooden block. So according to the Newton's second law of the motion, F is equal to mass into acceleration. Here the mass is given to you 10 gram. We need to convert into the kilogram. So we get a 0.01 kilogram. 10 divided by 1000, we get a 0.01 kilogram. Acceleration is equal to 5000 meter per second square. So according to the formula, F is equal to ma, we get a F, force acting on a bullet by a wooden block, F is equal to 50 Newton. Now question number 15. An object of a mass 1 kg traveling in a straight line with the velocity of the 10 meter per second collides with and stick to a stationary wooden block of a mass 5 kg. An object of a mass 1 kg are traveling with the velocity 10 meter per second collides with and stick to the stationary wooden block of a mass 5 kg. Then they both move off together in the same straight line. Calculate the total momentum just before the impact and just after the impact. Also calculate the velocity of the combined object. So dear student, here we use the law of conservation of the momentum. Total momentum before the collision and the total momentum after the collision are same. But how we can calculate the total momentum just before the collision and just after the collision? So first of all, the mass of the first object m1 is given to you 1 kg. The velocity of the object before the collision v1 is a 10 meter per second. Mass of the stationary wooden block m2 is a 5 kg. Here the wooden block is a stationary. That means its a velocity of the wooden block before the collision v2 is a 0. Now before the collision, what is the total momentum? The total momentum before the collision, the momentum of the object plus momentum of the wooden block. So momentum of the object is a m1 v1 plus momentum of the wooden block is a m2 v2. So m1 is a 1, v1 is a 10 plus m2 is a 5 and v2 is a 0. So we get a 10 kilogram meter per second. So the total momentum before the collision is a 10 kilogram meter per second. Now after collision, the object stick with the wooden block and moves together. So the total mass of the combined system of the object and the wooden block is a m1 plus m2. Velocity of the combined object is equal to v. Suppose we assume. So we want to calculate this velocity. Now what is the total momentum after the collision? m1 plus m2 into v. So according to the law of conservation of the momentum, the total momentum before the collision is equal to total momentum after the collision. So m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 plus m2 into v. So if you put the value, m1 is a 1, v1 is a 10, m2 is a 5, v2 is a 0, 1 plus 5 into v. And if you calculate v is equal to 10 divided by 6, or we can say the 5 divided by 3 meter per second. We can calculate in a decimal point also. 5 divided by 3, it is approximately 1.6 something, right? So the total momentum after the collision, the total momentum before the collision is a 10, total momentum after the collision is also a 10 meter per second, because m into v, 6 into v is a 10 by 6, we get the total momentum after the collision is a 10, and the velocity of the combined object is 5 by 3, or it is approximately 1.6, right? Now question number 16. An object of a mass 100 kg is accelerated uniformly from a velocity of the 5 meter per second to the 8 meter per second in a 6 second. Calculate the initial and the final momentum of the object, and also calculate the also find the magnitude of the force exerted on the object. So here the mass of the object is a 100 kg. Initial velocity u is a 5 meter per second. Final velocity v is a 8 meter per second, and the mass of the object m is a 100 kg. Time taken by the object to acceleration t is equal to 6 seconds. So how we can calculate the initial momentum? The initial momentum is equal to mass into initial velocity, m into u. So mass is 100 into u, initial velocity is a 5 meter per second. So we get 100 multiplied by 5, we get a 500 kilogram meter per second. Final momentum is a mass into final velocity. So 100 into 8, we get a 800 kilogram meter per second. Now how we can calculate the magnitude of the force? The change in the momentum divided by time. So the force exerted on the object F is equal to change in the momentum, final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time t. So here the final momentum is a 800 minus initial momentum is a 500 divided by time 6. So we get a 300 divided by 6, we get a 50 Newton. So dear student, understand how we can calculate the force exerted on the object by the formula F is equal to change in the momentum divided by time, because according to the Newton's second law, the rate of change of momentum is equal to the external force acting on the object. Now question number 17. Akhtar, Kiran and Rahul were riding in a motor car that was moving with a high velocity on an expressway. When an insect hits the windshield and got stuck on the windscreen, Akhtar and Kiran started pondering over the situation. Kiran suggested that the insect suffered a greater change in the momentum as compared to the change in the momentum of the motor car, because the change in the velocity of the insect was much more than that of the motor car. Akhtar said that since the motor car was moving with the higher velocity, it exerted a larger force on the insect, and as a result of insect died. Rahul, while putting an entirely new explanation, said that both the motor car and the insect experienced the same force and a change in their momentum. Comment on this suggestion. So one suggests that the insect suffers a greater momentum than the motor car. Other suggests that the motor car has a change in the momentum greater compared to the insect, and the Rahul suggests that both the motor car and insect experience the same force. Which one is the best suggestion? Which one is the right suggestion? Comment your answer. So let us discuss the answer. According to the law of conservation of the momentum of the car and insect system before the collision is equal to momentum of the car and the insect system after the collision. So according to the law of conservation of the momentum, initial momentum and the final momentum is same. Momentum of the system before collision is same as the momentum of the system after collision. So the change in the momentum of car and insect system is a 0. Now the insect gets stuck on the windscreen. This means that the direction of the insect is reversed. As a result, the velocity of the insect changes to the greater amount. On the other hand, the car continues moving with the constant velocity. Hence, the Kiran's suggestion that the insect suffers a greater change in the momentum as compared to the car is correct, because as the force is acting on the insect moves in the opposite direction. So the change in the momentum of the insect is more compared to the change in the momentum of the car. So the Kiran suggestion that the insect suffers a greater change in the momentum as compared to the car is a correct. The momentum of the insect after collision becomes very high because the car is moving at a high speed, and therefore the momentum gained by the insect is equal to the momentum lost by the car. So the change in the momentum is same. Momentum gained by the insect is same as the momentum lost by the car. So the change in the momentum is same, and as the change in the momentum is same, right, the force acting on this is a same. So Akhtar made a correct conclusion because the mass of the car is very large as compared to the mass of the insect, right. Rahul gave a correct explanation as the both the car and the insect experience the equal force caused by the Newton's action reaction law. Newton's third law of the motion. The force acting on the insect by a car is same as the force acting on the car by an insect. So the force acting on the insect and the car are same, right? But he made an incorrect statement as the system suffer a change in the momentum because the momentum before the collision is equal to the momentum after the collision. So dear student, understand the answer of the question number 17, which who one give a correct suggestion, right? First is a Kiran suggests that the correct suggestion. Akhtar also made a correct conclusion, but Rahul gave a correct explanation of the about a force, but it gives a incorrect explanation about a change in the momentum. So dear student, now last question, question number 18. How much momentum will a dumbbell of a mass 10 kg transfer to the floor if it is fall from a height of the 80 centimeter? Take its a downward acceleration to be a 10 meter per second square. So here dear student, the mass of the dumbbell is a 10 kg. M is equal to 10 kg. Fall from a height. So the distance S is given to you 80 centimeter. It is equal to 0.8 meter. Acceleration A is equal to 10 meter per second. Initial velocity U is 0 and final velocity V is a V. So how we can calculate the momentum? Initial momentum is 0. How we can calculate the final momentum? By calculating a final velocity. How we calculate the final velocity? According to the third equation of motion, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So v square is equal to 0 plus 2. A is a 10 and s is a 0.8. So if you calculate, we get a final velocity v is equal to 4 meter per second. So the final momentum is equal to m into v. Mass is a 10 kg and final velocity is a 4 kilogram meter per second, right? So we get the momentum gained by the dumbbell is a 40 kilogram meter per second. So dear student, understand all the questions answer given in the exercise. Dear student, I hope that you understand the exercise of the chapter number 9.